Well, chapter is closed. I left the healing center this morning and I'm going to rest, integrate, continue connecting with myself and all that I've learned, to keep opening my heart, I remember 2 years ago I went to Bali and I stayed at the ashram, and when I left I felt like this, just at peace and happy and full. So now I'm going to be patient with myself and use this time to stand on my own 2 feet, Check back in with you guys in a little bit, but for now, this is my view. I'm going to enjoy the sunset. I'll show you. After the retreat, I took a colectivo to Ollantaytambo, which is a town that's closer to Machu Picchu. I did a lot of hikes and explored a lot of the ruins, but not the big common ones. Especially after the ayahuasca retreat, I just really wanted to be in solitude. I guess I just felt very sensitive and vulnerable, and I wanted to kind of protect that and cherish that for as long as I could and be really, really patient with myself, because to go back into the external world, it is kind of shocking to the system, and I knew it was going to be shocking to my system, so I didn't want to put myself in situations where I was going to get overwhelmed, which meant I spent a lot of time in places that were a lot more low-key, a lot more quiet, and just allowed myself to slowly start interacting with the world again. And the first part of that was slowly starting to connect with my friends and family again. I feel now more than I ever have before this greater acceptance for who I am and my hopes and my dreams and my desires and what I want out of my life and what I want for myself. I love life and I'm enjoying it, and I'm walking a certain way and feeling a certain way as I go throughout my journey. And then there are some days where I feel so, lonely or a little bit more in solitude, because I felt this warmth from this family environment for, the most that I had in so long. And to go from forming this bond with people to nothing and just being on my own has been a little bit difficult. But I trust, I have faith. I'm continuing to have faith. Highs and lows, ebbs and flows, as with all things, but prior to this month, I was very much on like a strict, like I had a very strict practice, and I feel like after the retreat, one of the things that came to me was not being so extreme and like playing in the middle a little bit more and allowing myself to kind of just explore, because I feel like when I was younger, I went from one extreme to the other. And now I'm trying to find a balance with everything because I don't want to live in the extremes anymore. I want to live a pleasurable, joyous, fulfilling life and allow myself to feel these things and not be so hard on myself and not be so strict. Like, yes, I think it was highly necessary because I abused a lot of the substances previously, but now I feel like I don't want to define who I am by what I can and can't do, what I do and don't think, like my beliefs, you know. I want to be more open. So I've been exploring a lot more. I've been dancing, singing, flirting, you know, just being a bit more of a kid, which is something I also really connected with, like my inner child during the retreat. It's something that I don't ever want to forget about, that freedom that I felt as a kid and like how fun everything was and lighthearted and just like being goofy, you know, just being like whatever. I also found I think my soul sisters, I related to them so much. From the get-go, we just connected. It was as if I had known these girls my entire life and then we finally met again. That's what it felt like. There's not many people in my life that I can truly say I can do that with and that I can truly be like my entire self with. I can show up as who I am and what I am and not have any sort of doubt or insecurity or feel like I have to change who I am. There's very few people in my life that I can do that with, but with these girls, the ones that I met at the retreat, I feel like I can do that, and I'm so blessed and I'm so grateful to have met them. I felt like something in the universe forced us to come together and meet one another, and that's exactly what happened. And this is my first time getting hot chocolate with cashew milk. Cashew trumps almond. So good. And I got a little vegan cookie covered in chocolate. Anyways, I spent the whole day. Well, my host family was gone, so I was like, let me get some filming done. So I filmed like the intro and then the voiceover, and that took until like 2. And then I decided to come here to do a little bit of work and editing because I've literally been at the house all day. And it's kind of nice, even though I'm not talking to anybody else, it's nice to just be in a space with other people to kind of get me out of my own bubble. But yeah, now I'm here. And I've also been obsessed with hot chocolate now.
Scrolling on my phone, mind gets caught, lying to myself. I'm greener grass, dream another life, one that's not so hard. I can get lost down that dangerous road. I am not dead. I do not know what they're really going through. There's a lot that I assume
music sometimes.
What is?
Calca for me has been a time of reflection, solitude, gratitude, appreciation, self-love, self-nurturing, self-care. I've always known since I was a little kid. I just had so many layers of self-doubt and insecurity, a lot of it stemming from my childhood, and a lot of it really just self-inflicted, right? Like over the years, I could have dropped any of these beliefs at any moment, but for some reason, I just continued to not only believe, but kind of reinforce them through the way I was thinking and the way I was acting. And there were moments in my life where I was like, I had this inspiration and this drive and passion to be like, yes, I can do it. Yes, I can do it. But I always went backwards. I didn't know how to get myself out of it. I got such a clear, strong, definite answer and direction. There is no way I can fall back into this doubt and insecurity after feeling what I have felt and seeing what I have seen. So a lot of this month, like the past week in Calca, I've been kind of planning my next steps and taking actions towards my future and where I want it to go. And I feel really, really, really good about where I'm headed. I don't think I've felt this way since I was a little kid, and I love how I feel, but I'm also a little bit terrified. So these are for my protection. I just feel like a girl. And I think I spent so much of my childhood in my masculine energy because that is what was required of me to survive, basically. To make sure that I was okay, I had to be in this sort of energy of like getting shit done. But now, especially after grandfather Wachuma showed me like what love can feel like and like being a kid, now I just want to be in my feminine energy for a little bit. I like being taken care of. I like feeling and like flowing. So that's another thing that changed in July. As cheesy as it sounds, I think anything's possible now. Yeah, I guess I just felt like what it really means to be unconditionally loved and understand that it all starts from us.